Hello, CAC team. It's Nicole with an update from Achieving the Dream. Next week, we have our virtual capacity cafes, which is a time for small group discussion and feedback on certain areas of the ICAT, which is the Institutional Capacity Assessment Tool Survey several of you took last semester. Thank you to those who had the chance or, took the time to take the survey. If you did not, that's okay. We still want to hear from you. In just a minute, the coaches are going to go over the 3 areas that we're going to focus on and give you a better idea of what we're going to be discussing. So we'd love to see you. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching.
Arizona College. I am Michael Poindexter, your leadership coach, and I'm joined with Dr. Torres, your data coach, for Achieving the Dream work your college is doing. Thank you for giving us your time to view this video and to take a quick look at how your college responded to the ICAT. We are going to spend a few minutes to talk with you about your results and to set the stage for the discussions we will have at the Capacity Cafe on February 9th and 10th. You received an invitation to register for one of those days in a separate email. The ideas gathered at the Capacity Cafe will be utilized for future planning to improve student success. For those folks who are not familiar with the ICAT, it is the Institutional Capacity Assessment Tool offered by ATD. It measures the 7 capacities that are found in colleges that had made a difference in the student success work. The capacities are engagement and communication, strategy and planning, policies and practices, leadership and vision, data and technology, equity, and teaching and learning. The ratings we will talk about are from when you took the ICAT last semester. You received a copy of this report from Nicole. Data coach Torres will go deeper into what they mean. I am going to hand it off to her to go deeper into a few of the areas that we think are important to share with you today. Dr. Torres?
I want to begin by explaining what the ratings are for the ICAT. Now, the ICAT capacities are capacities that colleges that truly made a difference in student success illustrated during their work. Level 1 is basically saying minimal capacity needs to build strength. Level 2 is moderate capacity, but again, some work needs to be done. Level 3 is strong capacity, but still a little bit of work could be done. And level 4 is exemplary level of capacity in place. Now, the colleges that have been able to make a strong difference in student success tended to be between level 3 and 4, and that's what we want to work towards. So how did Central Arizona do? Well, here are the ratings across all of the capacities, not rounding up. When you round up, it always makes you look a little bit better. So I wanted to give you the raw capacity scores. Now, for the Capacity Cafe, we looked across several surveys and selected specific capacities to focus on so that we could have some in-depth discussion during these Capacity Cafes. So we will be concentrating on the capacity of equity, engagement and communication, and finally, data and technology. So let me share with you some information that you have provided the college through responding to surveys. In the area of equity, we know from the Great Colleges to Work survey that the institution has already identified this as an area to work on. So the item, this institution has clear and effective procedures for dealing with discrimination. The scores between 2020 and 2019 were lower for faculty, adjunct faculty, and support staff. So that has already been identified as something to work on. In the ICAT, there are 2 items that illustrate this capacity and the kinds of things that could be done. The first is, does the institution have a formal entity or process in place to coordinate equity efforts? The concerning part is twofold. You have 34% of the respondents have no idea, don't know. That's concerning. 26% gave it a moderate, meaning there's some room for work here. The second item is equity important consideration in the development and review of policies and practices? Again, 29% didn't know, and the remainder were actually between level 2 and 3. So you had 21% in each of those levels. So there's room for work here and things that we can suggest could be improved. The second capacity is engagement and communication. In the college's to workforce survey, the item "we have opportunity to contribute to important decisions in my department." Again, the scores in 2020 were lower than 2019 for administration, faculty, and adjunct faculty. Now, I know that we can all say that 2020 was a bit crazy, but still, it is identified as something we can work on. Now, on the ICAT, we have some good news to celebrate and some concerns. To celebrate, the item "our student success visions and goals communicated regularly and broadly across the institution." The highest response was 36% said level 3, strong capacity. So this shows that you've been doing some good work and it's showing. The other item that really showed positive capacity is around pathways, the work you've been doing in pathways between moving students from Central Arizona to four-year institutions. But there is work to be done. And in this area, the item "are faculty, staff, and students engaged in the design of the Student Success Initiative." 21% had no idea whether this engagement was there. And 33% said that it was a minimal engagement. And this is an area that needs to work on. The final capacity, data and technology, like I said before, we're going to concentrate on data because data is what informs the kinds of work we need to do. And data are key to creating a culture of evidence to improve student success. So in the ICAT item, there are capacities. There are 3 items that really illustrate the kinds of things that could be done. The first is, are data disaggregated by subgroups to identify equity gaps and inform improvement. And again, 42% had no idea. They don't know if data are disaggregated to inform student success. The second item is, are student success data broadly shared and translated into meaningful information? And while less people responded, "I don't know," the highest response rate was around level 2, moderate capacity, also indicating some work could be done and there's might be some good things that we can suggest. And the final item is, are data comparisons made with other institutions or organizations? And again, 42% said, "I don't know." And these are critical points of information that everyone in the community should know about. The last thing to note around the data capacity is that the level 4 extreme capacity were very low, indicating that there is room for improvement around this area. Now, at the capacity cafes, the discussion will focus on these 3 capacities and the kinds of things that we can do to improve. So the kinds of questions that you may be asked are, what aspects of these 3 capacities stand out for you? Or how can the college improve within each of the 3 capacities? And most important, what action steps do you suggest the college consider? Now, what we're going to do is collect these responses from the Capacity Cafe. They will both be identical, so you only need to attend one, and take those responses to inform the action plan for Central Arizona's Achieving the Dream efforts. And I'll turn over to you, Michael.
Well, we want to thank you for all the hard work that you're doing at Central Arizona. And we want to thank you for your time that you spent with us today. And we look forward to joining you and tuning in with you on February 9th and 10th. Thank you.
Thank you.